how would you show up differently to your job and to your life every day if there was literally somebody that was trying to take it away from you?
Hey guys, Coach Matt here, and in this next video, I'm sharing with our group on a coaching call the ways that we can maintain a rookie mindset. It's preseason football right now, and one of the most exciting things watching our favorite teams is we get to see the starters come out, and yet there's another group of individuals that are putting their entire life and their career on the line for the next several hours to see whether or not they have a job. Right? One of the biggest challenges that we have as entrepreneurs is as when we got started, we were willing to do whatever it took to get going. We studied longer, we did more activities, we did the activities that were mostly uncomfortable, and then we kind of found a little bit of a rhythm and we found a flow, and sometimes we get complacent. While the challenge is that there are other people out there that are doing the work, that are coming for our jobs. So enjoy the next video where we go deeper into what are some of the ways that you can maintain and cultivate that rookie mindset even when you're in your veteran season. Enjoy.
Let's get going. All right, so how many of you are like me and like this part of the year is kind of like Christmas? We've got NFL preseason going on, and even though the Chiefs didn't win the preseason game, there were several observations that I wanted to share with you. And around here on Mondays, we want to focus on mindset, and the mindset that I wanted to have a conversation around is the difference between how first string shows up and how third string shows up in the preseason. How many of you watch, so my wife and I we were sitting here watching, we were finishing up Quarterback, the documentary on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, it's pretty outstanding. There's a really great team that finishes the whole season out with a Super Bowl win. They're usually red and gold. If you're a fan of that, you can check them out. The other guy almost made it, but he did get to sing at the Honors Award. I know a lot of you guys like him. He's kind of like a cousin to me. I have you on a certain view. Blake's shaking his head, and that's okay. And yet, what I wanted to talk to you about is there's a championship mindset, then there's a professional pro mindset, and then there is a different kind of mindset that is really interesting, that if you tap into appropriately and you carry with you, could be one of the biggest advantages you ever have. And that's the rookie mindset. The preseason, which is really interesting, is for the first stringers. They go in for like a quarter, and what's their objective? What's their goal for these first string top offenses and defenses in the preseason when they get started? Who are my sports fans that can kind of share, what is the goal of the first string offense and defense in the preseason? What's their objective? Like when they go out, they're looking to what?
I got you, Matt.
Go for it.
They're trying to shake off the rust. They're trying to build some synchronization, some getting on the same page, being kind of fluid.
Okay.
Back in the group.
Good, right? So they're looking to create, they're looking to create rhythm. They're looking to create community. They're looking to create some gel. They're looking to speed things up by getting everything in sync, right? What's the mindset of the players that are coming in the third and fourth quarter? What's their objective? What's their goal?
Do anything they can to make the team.
For them, it's life and death. How do you think they prepared differently going into that game? What do you think is the difference in preparation going into that game?
They're probably a lot more focused on their own goals, what they want to hit, to ensure that they make the team.
Do you think that they maybe spend a few more extra minutes on understanding or learning the plays, learning the play calls? Do you think maybe they watch a little bit more film? Do you think maybe they spend a little bit more, and maybe they need to, right? Because they don't know it yet, right? But they spend a little bit more time getting ready. They spend a little bit more time studying. They spend maybe another extra rep in the gym, right? And so I was watching a podcast with Gary Vee was interviewing a gentleman who played D1 football, got hurt, and then he got into drugs and alcohol, and it was really bad. He spent some time in prison, and he came back out and flipped his life around and did something really incredible. And what he talked about was there was something that he had discovered about himself that he used as kind of a superpower, and he called it his rookie mindset. And the rookie mindset is one that's like, great, you got drafted, and yet you have to prove yourself to be on the team. And that rookie mindset, that mindset of like, I could be fired literally the next day, was one that inspired him and pushed him and fueled him to study harder than he ever did before, to prepare like he'd never prepared before, to do all the things that are required in order to make the team, and not only make the team, be a starter on the team, right? Because there's, and what's interesting is at the beginning of the season, there are two different mindsets. There are probably more, but amongst the best teams, interestingly enough, there are two different mindsets. There are teams that just want to get to the Super Bowl, and there are teams that the season's not over till they win the Super Bowl. And you can tell the difference in the playoffs. The teams that are just happy to be in the playoffs versus the teams that understand that there's 3 more games to win. They show up different. They prepare different. And so the question that I want to challenge you is that where in our lives and our business have we lost the edge of that rookie mindset? And where does just that complacency, that comfort creep back in? Like if there's, and the thought is this, and this is really interesting, watching and listening to any of the webinars or interviews with Kobe Bryant. He called it the Mamba mentality. And he just believed that if I just work harder than everybody else, no one can keep up to me. And so he would do triple the work. He would show up early, he would stay late, he would do 2 or 3 workouts and everybody else would do 1, because he always believed somebody's coming to get my job. The question I want to ask you is, how would you show up differently to your job and to your life every day if there was literally somebody that was trying to take it away from you? Because interestingly enough, in this business, every morning when we wake up, I'm unemployed. Every morning, I'm unemployed. Every conversation that I have is either leading me towards the next piece of business, or I'm losing business because of it. How would you prepare differently if everything that you did was up against, if you were, 3rd string, rookie mentality? How do we maintain that energy, that edge, even when we've earned that starting spot? Maybe we just won a championship. How do you keep from living yesterday's wins and believing in last week's press clippings? How do we do that? I'd love to have a quick conversation around this topic and just any observations that you have around your own life and your own schedule on where that veteran mentality or the I made it versus the rookie mindset has ever crept in your life. And what did you do, or how do you keep your rookie's edge, if you will? What are your thoughts?
I have one.
Yeah, dude.
So I believe like maintaining, and one of the lessons learned is never count the closing until it's closed. And so something I learned from a mentor of mine was how to keep the edge is don't count that one's done, right? Focus on openings instead of closings. And so I've always hunted for openings instead of just assuming that this one's going to close.
When you say you hunt for openings, what do you mean by that? Can you be more specific?
So I don't take my foot off the gas when I have 2 closings on the books.
Okay.
Because nothing's ever promised in this business. It could go sideways right before signing or at the table, and it has. And so I have to consistently keep looking for openings. writing new contracts, always going on appointments versus, sweet, I have 8 closings scheduled. Well, that doesn't really matter. That's me getting excited about my own press clippings, right? That was yesterday. What's today? Today's new openings.
Love it. Anyone else? Thanks for sharing, Blake.
I have one.
Yeah, Tracy.
Basically, whenever the rookie edge, you are constantly, like in the beginning, adding people to your database, building that up. When you get to 100% referral business, then you kind of forget to continue to add new people in because you have a good enough life based off of the referral business that you have. So it's that constantly looking for new people to be adding in there.
Yeah, no, I love that, right? And I think, and here's the thing, and we talked about this on last week's call, like living an unreal kind of life, living an uncommon life is about being intentional. And I think where sometimes I fall into the trap is when I find a new challenge and I work hard to achieve it. I love the challenge of when it's new and it's exciting. And so I condition myself to get really uncomfortable and do the things that it's going to take to hit it. What happens is through consistency, through time, the uncomfortable becomes comfortable. And then what was the goal is now the standard. And then you stop doing the things that got you there. So naturally, if you stop doing the things that get you there, and things shift and the business moves and the market changes and people move or do this or unsubscribe or whatever, if you don't adjust your activities, your results could start to slide off slowly, very slowly, so slowly sometimes you don't notice it until you're 30% off and you go, what the hell just happened? And what happened was you got there and then you only did what you needed to get there, but all the external circumstances have changed. So the results started going away slow enough where you didn't realize it. Listen, I didn't wake up 265 pounds one day. Like, what the hell just happened? It was half a cookie for 2 years and an extra glass of wine. And then I looked down and went, when did this happen? And it was little choices over time, right? So, love that, Tracy. Yeah, we just get comfortable and we all of a sudden look up and go, oh no, I just got cut from the team. How did that happen? What happened? Anyone else? Other thoughts? How do you catch yourself? How do you catch yourself from slipping into not necessarily entitlement, right? Because it's not like entitlement, that word's kind of negative. It's just like where you're like, I'm good. How do you keep yourself?
I got a story I'll share with you, Matt, that might actually be right along this line or an example of what you just kind of described. When I was in boot camp 100 years ago for the Air Force, they taught us exactly how to, fold underwear and t-shirts and how square they had to be, et cetera, et cetera. The first inspection that the training instructor would come through and do, unless you just really chopped it up, it was a pass, usually. And you thought it was designed to lead you to believe you had everything squared away, when the real inspection was the second inspection. And when he came through, this is probably a couple of weeks later, keeping it squared away, everything we need to do. And I didn't pass, and I didn't get to go out, on base leave with the rest of the folks. And I wasn't the only one, but I went and talked to my TI about it at the time. And I said, I don't understand. It was all squared away the last inspection, the last 2 inspections, and I didn't change anything. And that's when I caught myself, when I said I didn't change anything, that I knew the expectations had risen. And what you were just describing, when the external effects change and you're not changing with them, you're not adapting to keep yourself squared away or even better than squared away is what the point is. you're going to get caught up in that. You're going to fail. You're going to fail that inspection. And I find myself into that however long it's been, because I was 17 at the time, a hard lesson to learn. But, you know, if we really want it and want to stay in the game, we're going to have to be better than the expectations. And I think someone in their gratitude prior to this call described that. I think it was Brooke. She's gone above and beyond, as we would say, or better than expectations. And now her next, you know, appointment is buried. Her next piece of business is buried in the piece of business she's currently working on because of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it relates, but in my mind, I feel it relates somehow better than the expectations, like Mike just posted in the chat, and keeping up with that.
Right on, brother. No, I really appreciate that. That was for you. That's your sound effect. You gotta take this. Do you hear that? Did you guys get that?
It sounded like a camera.
Okay, it was an E. There we go.
I'll have to get that.
I don't know if that's coming through or not, but I just gave you some national anthem and Eagle screams, so I just appreciate you. All right, guys, last minute thoughts, right? Last minute thoughts. Eliminating entitlement. The lesson of the rookie mindset. Taking a look at your calendar this week. How are you preparing for what's coming, as if you got an entire team of coaches that's watching you and saying, are you good enough to be a starter on this team? Are you showing up as the elite? Are you looking to get that contract, that 12-year, $550 million contract? How do you show up? How do you prepare for this week? Like your life and your career depends on it, right? Think about this, these guys. These guys have been playing football since they were like 10 years old. And they finally make it. They get onto the team, but they haven't made it yet. Not all of them. And it all comes down to 2 hours on a Sunday. Anyone else want to wrap us up? Final thought, takeaway. What's your aha from today's call? What's your takeaway? What'd you hear? How is this going to affect the way you look at your calendar, your life, and your business moving forward?
Be better than the expectation. Like, step up your game. You can always step up your game. There's always room for improvement. There's always, you know, take it like today's like you're gonna get fired if you don't do something of importance that to your own business today. I mean, it can all go away in one day. Realistically, I mean, you know, bills come. You know, payments are always there. I mean, that's why we're all here, is make money and change people's lives. All right.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. Got to keep that dog in you, right, Julian? Got to keep that dog hungry. Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers, he always starts with, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. You got to keep that dog in you. You got to be hungry. You got to eat like a dog eats. Same thing every day. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. So this week, I challenge you to take a look at your life through the lens of the rookie. You got an amazing opportunity in front of you. You got an opportunity to change a lot of lives, yours being one. You know, let's not underestimate what it takes, and let's give it let's give it all you got. Let's give it all you got. Appreciate you. We'll see you on Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Take care, y'all.
Thanks, Matt.